It's starting. And boom!
Watch Skeptic Wars, Evolution Fun in real time. I just got the
I
alert.
didn't get the thing. I didn't get the alert yet. Did it pop up? Oh, shit, we're so amateur. All right, everybody watching, this is Skeptic Wars. Our host, or co-host, Henry Sweets, will post the link so that people can watch in. We're just having a friendly little discussion about evolution. I am Tim Huggins, the politely atheist at this point. I have, well, why don't you guys introduce yourself? Start off, Reckless.
I'm Reckless Trucker, and you are all atheist heathens. Every one of you.
Damn it.
I'm a non-religious theist who's critical of many ideas.
There we go. And we have Samaj, who's well, you could explain yourself, Samaj, right?
I suppose I can put some words together. I'm Samaj.
You can do it.
Yeah. Maybe almost there.
He needs a lobotomy, guys.
Well, it didn't work the first time, so I'm an artist, and I am by no means a believer of the flying god. I mean,
Don't you dare say spaghetti monster.
Well, I mean, that's a given. We all know that exists.
God damn it.
Are you questioning the noodly appendages of our Lord and Savior?
Oh.
Damn it, I just lost signal, of course, right when we start the stream.
Oh, come on. So we're just having a friendly little discussion on evolution. So I promise Henry and I will just be there as gentle little, little moderators. We won't say anything rude. We'll be real friendly. We won't kind of make it a joking environment, and we won't, we won't.
You won't cuss the non-atheist.
No, we'll cuss plenty. Don't worry about that. I mean, shit. I mean, what's the point if we can't cuss? Right? I mean,
we can cuss. Oh, I was.
We can.
I should have asked before I said it.
Why do we?
Well,
why do we get a cuss?
No, see, we're on
Skeptic
Alert, and Skeptic Alert, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, not only that, we all know that that like masturbating, cursing is actually good for you. It gets out a lot of stress. It gets out a lot of tension, a lot of love your inner angers and whatnot. With that said, this stream is brought to you by Tenga Eggs. Tenga Eggs. Go fuck yourself.
Is there like a Tenga egg that has like a microphone that swears at you like the faster you go, insulting you?
You mean like actual sex? Oh god, fuck me!
I did not know what a Tenga egg was until I joined this community, and you guys have you've taken my innocence.
Well, let me tell you, happiness, you really can't buy it. But let's be honest, you can. For about $8 on Amazon. And we call them Tenga Eggs.
Is that really all it costs?
Oh, yeah. Well,
they're cheap as shit.
Well, Amazon's their official online retailer because it's a Japanese company. So you're going through Amazon and you work a deal, and then you skim some of the shipping costs. So it's a lot cheaper than buying it locally. So just go on Amazon. But I do that.
Well, okay. Jesus Christ. For all the things you talk about Tenga eggs, you might as well get paid for it, Samaj.
I really should. I mean, I'm currently # not sponsored, but I really wish to be # sponsored someday.
Can you?
Okay, well, we'll kind of talk over you until you get your signal back. So basically, we're gonna talk about how stupid a belief in is God, since he's cutting out. So not only is it dumb, but like believers in God are like mostly gay. Is that right, Samaj?
I hear that they tend to enjoy the odd faggotry. Yes.
Yeah, usually. That's what
Usually.
I've heard, anyways.
It's
That's just what I've heard. I don't know. Okay.
well, I mean, if our current shitlord Milo Yiannopoulos is anything to go by, I'm pretty sure there's a fair bit of priests out there who
I'm out of
love.
the canyons. What did I miss?
Well, the segment on child
That's
fucking.
comedic timing right there. Anyways, okay, so I'm gonna start this sucker up. Do you have good enough signal, Reckless? Can we get going? Yes? No? We talk more about Tanga eggs? Christ, man, I've been waiting like an hour and a half for this shit.
It's not
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Signal hard if you're on the go.
No, I believe me, I'm not faulting him. I mean, he brings us our goods. Don't shit on the trucker. So
well, last time I shit on a trucker there, or last time I got a trucker partially upset, he assured me that he'll be in my area soon enough, and I won't see him coming. which is true enough. I remember I was in a vehicle there with my brother. He was just driving. I look in the mirror and I see a blue truck, and I'm like, oh no, it's him. He found me. How did he find me?
I'm only one state down. Actually, I'm 2 states down, but that'll be 1 by the end of the night.
Oh. And then you'll be in my neck of the woods?
Yep.
Oh, you'll be in Kanakistan? Oh, fuck.
Kanakistan.
Well,
I got to preface this real quick. I hate California because they're trying to tell me to do 35 miles an hour when the cars can do 70.
Yeah. Do you have enough signal to get this going? Like.
I think so.
It's getting close to Samaj's bedtime, and I don't want to tell you what Samaj has to do for bedtime. That's.
You have to work out the day's stress.
Yeah. Let me just preface that with he has one time during a cunt asked when you throw away the Tanga eggs. So yeah, let's just go from there, okay?
Look, it's costing me money, so it's like almost like having an actual woman.
I would say never have a Tanga egg in the first place.
Yeah, well, I live in Canada, and let me tell you, it's a lot safer to have a Tanga egg than actually dating.
Oh, that's so true.
I know it sounds very MGTOW, but let me tell you, MGTOW is pretty much the safest bet in Canada.
Yeah.
Why? Are all your women feminists?
Well, I live in Alberta. And essentially, yes. And it's essentially like you take your own life in your own hands, asking a woman out for coffee.
But I thought Calgary used to be this like conservative bastion in Canada.
Alberta, no, not anymore. No, we went from very conservative to in the last couple of years highly liberal, and it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
You went from Alabama to California.
Yeah. No. It went from Alabama to Seattle, Washington.
Oh God, dude! I don't know what reputation it does when Oregon and Washington are just twice as insane.
It's just Seattle. I think it's the weather that makes.
No, Eugene, Oregon is the craziest city I've ever been to.
Oh yeah. The People's Republic of Eugene.
Dude, I saw a guy walking around in all goth outfit and makeup with a skirt on and a collar, and his girlfriend walking him with a leash.
Yeah.
My great grandma lived in Eugene. That was probably her.
Well, your great grandma was hot.
All right, so how's your signal, Reckless?
I don't care if I'm putting the leash on. I think?
Yeah? No?
Si, senor.
Are you good? Okay. Let's start this.
Si.
Let's start this son of a bitch up. Okay, so
God damn it.
we're
Of course
talking
I say
evolution.
yes and it stops.
Okay, no. Jesus Christ! I know how to pick them, don't I?
Definitely doesn't
Good?
make it easy.
I apologize.
No. I mean, if we had chair view here, you know.
That's it.
Okay. All right, we good?
What about chair view?
Oh, he's just a giant cunt on a wheelchair. But anyways, so let's start this son of a bitch up, okay? I'll just take it that he's gonna be cutting in and out, and we'll go from there. So basically, I just want to hear what your issue is with evolution.
I don't know if you've ever heard this argument before. Most likely, evolution isn't necessarily microevolution. You know, I don't know anything stupid about evolution.
You're cutting in and out, but from what I gather is you're going to bring up the distinction micro versus macro, right?
Yes, there's a very clear distinction.
Yeah.
Like Hunter.
Go ahead.
Well, Easy on Me brought up his fine example of macroevolution, and it was a mosquito evolving into a mosquito. That's not. Nobody disputes the idea of mosquitoes becoming different kinds of mosquitoes, or dogs and different canines evolving from a base canine-like creature. The
like
issue I see,
wolf?
well, any kind of base canine, whether it be like a tiny fox thing, you know?
Okay.
But the issue I see is like, fine example, the evolutionary line of the whale, which keeps keeps evolving into a full-blown whale faster and faster and faster every time they find a new whale fossil. I think this last time it got cut down to less than 5 million years. It became a fully developed whale.
So
well, you cannot explain microevolution of hair color, hair length, skin color, eye color into achieving things like a blowhole.
Sure. So let me ask you this: what is the barrier? Can you hear me? You hear me, buddy?
Yeah. Okay, I can hear you now.
All right, 10-4.
10-4.
So the thing that gets people who criticize evolution all hot and bothered is the distinction between micro and macro, right?
Yeah, I'm not disputing that there isn't some kind of macroevolution. Clearly, there is. You know, you can see throughout the history different forms and creatures show. I just don't think they understand the mechanism.
So not only do they know the mechanism, you know, DNA and natural selection and a few other kinds of things, but they could actually show it with fossil evidence of transitional forms.
Every time they see a transitional form, it's incredibly shaky, though. I've never seen one that's foolproof.
I don't really know what you would think is foolproof. I mean, you look at the hominid examples of early humans. I mean, there's some that literally look half chimp, half human. I mean, what else do you want?
Oh, hey, real quick, I got a little caveat for you. Any of you guys ever heard of the Peltdown Man?
Yeah, it's a hoax. It was a hoax.
I know. I fell for it for like 40 years.
Yeah, but it's not like science is like set in stone. You know that, right? Like it changes all the time.
No, I know that. The thing is, though,
Yeah, I didn't get that last part. But here's the problem that you have is if you really think that there's a distinction between micro and macro, you kind of need to show that there's such a barrier, like in the code. Like there's something that blocks out quote unquote kinds from evolving into something else. You need to show that there's a hard cap of what an organism can turn into. Because if you can't prove that, then you don't really have much of a case.
Well, I think you need to prove that there is a hard cap. I think you need to prove that they can do it, and I've never seen completely solid evidence for it.
No, that's exactly. They haven't proved that there's a hard cap, therefore there is no distinction.
There is a distinction. They've never.
They're absolutely
different.
No. What you're misunderstanding is they've shown scientists when they look at the code, they don't see any cap. They don't see anything that would prevent an organism to evolve to different forms to the point where they can't reproduce.
One moment, guys. One moment.
Oh, for fuck's sake, God. But I just want to say, first of all, Henry, you look fantastic. Okay.
Thank you.
And I like the headphones. You know.
I stole these.
No, I mean you're wearing glasses inside. That is new. That is sleek.
Yeah, I like it.
Topless much.
Yeah. So here's where we are. Are you back, Reckless?
Maybe.
No? Maybe?
I'm also cooking right now, so, you know.
What? What kind?
I'm cooking, I think, seafood Alfredo.
Oh.
Well, in a semi.
You know? I didn't even ask you. What do you drive? What do you drive, Reckless?
A Kenworth.
Kenmore, nice.
Kenworth. Worth.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Kenworth.
Oh, hey, real quick, before we get back on the subject, did you guys see my Mustang?
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, it was. So, did you get? Are you restoring it yourself, or you taking it to a shop?
Some stuff. Only problem really is that the gas tank in the back and the trunk kind of rotted around the edges of it. Got some holes in it. Need to fix that. Bring that to a body shop. But considering how old it is, being a 72, that's not bad. The engine still turns over.
It does?
It's been sitting there for it's been sitting for 30 years and the engine still turns.
Holy shit.
So I'm happy.
Get that thing going, man. That's a collector's edition. That's a good get.
Do a road trip and meet everybody that I fuck with and Skeptic stuff, okay? Anyway, back onto the subject.
All right. So here's the problem I'm looking at, okay? So basically we're finding just literally mountains of evidence to show that species can change over time, right? And the only reason why people use the term micro and macro is when they're talking about time. They're not talking about something else that happens. They're talking about how an organism changes over time.
Well, the thing is, the basis for evolutionary theory is mutation. And you can never point to an example of actual observable mutation that didn't end in autism or retardation.
Oh, all the time. What are you talking about? They've shown like albinoism. That's a perfect form of mutation. Like just look at human beings.
That's already within the genetic code, though. It's not really necessarily a full-blown mutation like change in the genetic structure.
Oh, they show changes in the genetic.
And the other part is albino creatures tend to have horrible lives.
Well,
that doesn't benefit anything.
I tell you what, some of those white African albinos, they get plenty. No. Let me finish, okay? I was talking about fine-ass albino white Africans, okay? And they get plenty of booty. Okay, so I'm not even gonna hear you
Well,
saying
that's human
they have bad
culture.
luck.
That's different. That's not animals.
Hey, I'm just saying, you know, Africans like fine-ass albino white girls that are actually African. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Interesting thing. I came across a study that actually showed Africans have a higher tendency for albinism than any other race.
Have you ever seen a picture of it? It looks interesting.
I've actually the albino African people. I've actually or black people, if you want to call it. I've actually seen them in person.
Really?
Yeah. No, they're.
Oh my God! How did that look? Was that funny looking?
It kind of, yeah. It was. It was weird to see. It really was. But I mean, it was there. I mean, that person was there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't chase me.
Somebody with the typical African features, but completely white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and obviously, I mean, it was a woman, and she was actually with her family, and they all look alike. That's how I knew they were sort of family. But you could sort of tell that the skin color was a lot lighter, and of course, gingerish hair. Meh.
Wow.
I'm actually an albino.
No, but here's the problem I think you're running into. Okay, so when you hear mutation or any kind of major change, you think automatically that it's automatically going to turn into cancer or some kind of genetic disorder. That's not always the case.
You've never seen a mutation that's beneficial.
Well, I mean, if you want to discount all DNA evidence, then you're right. But if you want to actually
evidence is there for a beneficial mutation?
Okay, let's look at it. Yeah, let's look at it. Okay, so for instance, polar bears are an excellent example. They live in an Arctic environment. Their ancestors.
I can't hear you.
Okay.
Say that again.
Christ. I swear to God, this is like old man the chat. So basically, polar bears' ancestors and all bears' ancestors had brown fur. They were.
Well, they're all bears still.
Well, yeah, they're all bears,
but a change in genetic thing. That was just a rearrangement of what they already had.
Okay, sir, for Christ's sake, you want me to bring up an example of how mutations could actually form positive change? That's an excellent example. The mutation in polar bear fur was a very helpful adaptation. That's a mutation in their genetic code. Their code is different than brown bears and black bears. That's a change in the that's a mutated gene. You don't think that's mutated?
No, what evidence is there that it's mutated? It's an hair color, like blonde to ginger.
Let's stick with the human example, okay? So do you think human beings were always the skin color, or did God give us all these different skin colors? Do you think like we eventually?
Well, I don't really think God. I think God created a macroevolutionary process that we don't understand yet. Everything.
You mean micro? You mean micro, right?
Well, macro and micro. The macro we don't understand. The micro we do.
Well, I mean we understand both, but what I'm talking about is
dispute.
No. It's an under dispute of people called creationists and intelligent designers, not scientists. I mean, if it was a disputed thing.
There are plenty of scientists that look at it and are.
I just don't know where you're getting your information from, man. You could just look up a biology article in Wikipedia, give you all the information you'd ever want about evolution. Like it's not even.
But it's also going to be the same crap. They all peddle the same stuff. Scientists suffer from the same thing that academia does these days. And
no, dude. It's way different. If they post something like, yeah, I'll admit there's probably a hell of a lot more biologists posting shit about gender than they've ever had in their lives. But if you're talking about their actual science, that goes under rigorous review. Like shit does not stand unless it's under academic review. So you can't just post whatever the fuck you want. If you find evidence that pterodactyls are actually related to fucking house cats, and you have this great paper, but it doesn't hold up to scrutiny, then it's going to be dismissed.
Awesome.
Yeah, it would.
You know, scientists
I mean,
for a
think
while
of,
thought birds were evolved from crocodiles. That was pretty funny.
well, no. They evolved from dinosaurs.
Well, actually, an interesting thing. I gotta find it. I think it was in Nature or Nat Geo. But they found fossilized bird footprints tens of millions of years earlier than any other fossil of a bird, alongside footprints of dinosaurs.
You know what that means, buddy? That means they push the thing they push the timeline back, and not only that,
they need a brand new evolutionary line altogether.
No, see, here's the problem with your skepticism: is those kind of findings are not looked at like, holy shit, they found out our horrible theory. Now we need to cover it up. They look at that.
I'm not saying they do. I'm just
no.
They do.
No, here's the problem: is you think it's a conspiracy.
No, I don't. I never said that.
Well, what's the issue with birds and dinosaurs? We already know birds and dinosaurs coexisted. We already know that. Because
right, but now the evolutionary line got pushed back tens of millions of years, and they don't have an evolutionary link like they thought they did.
Well, they do, because birds have been shown to be linked to dinosaurs. I don't know how to say it right, but you don't even have to look at the first bird.
Archaeopteryx?
Yeah,
Interesting thing about him, birds actually, they've had teeth on and off, and swans still have those fingers that Archaeopteryx had.
Yeah.
Swans have them.
But isn't it interesting that we find raptors that have feathers, right? Isn't that weird? Why is that, you think?
Well, they've actually been looking into that, and
they found T-Rexes with proto feathers. They found
well, they're different than actual feathers. They're simply scales pointing upwards.
Oh my God, no.
That's what they are. They end up developing into what looks like feathers, but they're just scales pointing upwards. The flip of the genetic code. You can do this to birds and get them scales. You can do this to lizards.
They actually, as far as we saw, it was actually feathers. However, I was also going to point out that this is the reason why they didn't reboot Jurassic Park. Yeah, because if they reboot it, because the whole goal was historical accuracy. But now that they know know more information, they can't actually. Because you make dinosaurs with feathers, no one's going to go see that. It's going to be silly.
That was
the original Jurassic Park was horribly inaccurate anyway.
Well, yeah, to the original book.
For its time.
Yeah, well,
it's not even in the Jurassic.
They never had
you guys
they never had a velociraptor that was the size of the ones in Jurassic Park until Utah Raptors showed up.
Yeah, but they
5 years later.
On what's it called, Dionysus or Utah Raptor, one of those. But
Utah Raptor
here's
Jurassic Park.
No, here's the thing. We found dinosaurs going way before any modern birds with feathers and proto feathers before that. You find the links, and it wasn't even something scientists were expecting to find. All they were looking at upright
I'm going to bring up the old
dinosaurs.
atheist credo. I'm going to bring up the old atheist credo. Correlation doesn't exactly mean causation. They should still be a little more skeptical on it. You
don't have any reason to be skeptical when you can actually go down the line and actually see an upright dinosaur slowly becoming a bird. You could actually go down the fossil line and just see it for yourself. You could see dinosaurs getting lighter and lighter bones. You can see dinosaurs slowly getting smaller. Well, I don't know. I don't want to get too much on the whole bird thing.
He'll gladly start looking into it while I'm driving, I think.
No, you could bring in a creationist. I don't really care. It doesn't really matter, because every single biologist, most biologists, probably 99% of biologists, are not going to dispute that, because you can look at it yourself. You can test the findings. You could look at theropod dinosaurs DNA, and you can compare it with bird DNA.
Well, where the hell are you going to get theropod dinosaur DNA?
Well, remnants or whatever.
No, I remember they did that study. They supposedly found DNA of a theropox DNA. It turned out to just be a bunch of bacteria on his leg bone. There ain't no DNA. DNA left. After 5,000 years, DNA rapidly degenerates.
What would you expect? Here's my question: is what would you expect? Like, what kind of shooting gun evidence would you expect in that case? Like, what would you really think would be just outstanding evidence?
Well, what I see throughout it, you see these lines of animals that show up. Okay, and these lines of creatures live for amazingly long times, like the Triceratops line. I don't remember, I think like 60 million years or something ridiculous. Existed for tens of millions of years, Triceratops line. And you can see this repeated throughout every evolutionary line. They kind of show up suddenly, and then you get variations upon the original proto-dinosaur or the proto-creature. And I think there's a much more rapid macroevolution that happens than what people currently account for. But creatures seem to
all you have to do is show evidence that that's possible, and then you could go from there. But if you can't, then
you can look at every single evolutionary. Well, you can look at every single evolutionary line, and they appear to show up rather rapidly whenever you have a lot of fossils, and then they'd seem to stay similar with slight variations, like Triceratops and all the different variations of Triceratops that you see.
Well, I'll admit, I'm glad that you're a creationist who actually believes dinosaurs exist. But
I am not a fucking creationist.
Well, that remains to be seen, my friend. Because if you're questioning macroevolution, then you're kind of you're using creationist talking points. You know that, right?
Well, plenty of creationist talking points are on point. It's just the way they express it tends to be really dumb.
No, they're actually not. They're way off point, bud. Their
expressions of it are really dumb.
You're talking about rapid macroevolution.
I'm not saying rapid in the sense of 10 years or one generation. I'm talking it can be plenty generations.
And by the way, that's kind of a misnomer, right? That doesn't make any sense. Macroevolution means evolution over long periods of time.
Right, but there's a distinction that needs to be made.
It's not the changes in the organism, it's the changes in time. So if we look at if we look at a dragonfly has changed in size, but more or less its body style has been very similar to what it was
hundreds of millions
of years, right? So that is not an example of microevolution. That's an example of macroevolution because those changes.
What would we say for a speciation into a different kind altogether? Then that isn't macroevolution.
It's just called a speciation event or an occurrence, and because we haven't actually first of all, and stop. Don't say kind, because if you're saying you're not a creationist, stop using their words because that's not a scientific term.
A dog is a different kind of creature from a cat.
That is a creationist thing. That's a creationist talking point.
Well, it's still okay. Can we at least establish that a bird is a different kind?
No. We're not using kind. It's a family. It's an animal family. Just say family.
Well, when people say kind, they usually refer to a specific body type that exists within that
well,
family.
I tell you what. If you're using kind, then you're going to start to get really confused once you start talking about different species that are actually very similar to each other. Like, because you're just talking about the ones that are
a dog and a fox and a wolf are all the same kind. They're just different canines.
They have you know what makes them similar? They have the same common ancestor. That's what
makes them similar is that they are visibly, obviously canines.
No.
There's slight variations in bone structure
that don't really.
And stuff like that.
Have you ever seen a raccoon dog? They don't look that much like a dog. Looks like a big, poofy raccoon.
Right, I mean, still very visibly doggish, or else it wouldn't have the name raccoon.
Okay, what about a wolverine? What would you say that thing looks like? What kind is that?
Oh, he's related to things like otters and muskrats. Not muskrats.
Why?
What
Makes them similar? It's not body type. They don't look similar. They all have muscles.
They do have a similar
right?
body type. They're a little bit more.
No, they don't.
Wolverine's a little bit more stocky than an otter.
Well, I mean, you're just thinking of the weasels. You know, the skunks don't look anything like weasels. So what makes them similar is they all have musk. Do you think those ideas have been around for a long time, or do you think it's just when science started to classify them?
Well, people already knew about classification of animals before Darwinian evolution.
No,
yes, they did.
They didn't know.
They had very complex lines of classification and speciation. It's just Darwinian evolutionary theory was one of the few ones that brought a lot of people together.
Exactly, but we started getting some really difficult to explain animals, like whales, like hippos, like hyraxes, and animals that don't really seem that related to each other, but are hyrax.
Well, which one is the hyrax again? I know that name. I just don't.
It's the closest relative to an elephant. It's a little. Well, how would you describe it, Samaj? It's like a little weird fucking gopher-looking thing, right?
Wait, which one? I missed that. I was gonna.
The hyrax.
I know I've seen it.
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
It's an ugly-looking thing.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, it is. Oh god, I'm spacing.
No, but here's the point I'm trying to make.
Can you look up the hyrax?
Pre-evolution naturalists. Pre-evolution biologists were looking at all these things, and they started to get really confused. One of these people who started to get really confused by all these different types was Charles Darwin. And he was just looking at all these things. He was looking at an environment that God didn't touch, and all of a sudden he couldn't really explain why these small changes were taking place for absolutely nobody.
I don't think God things. I think he makes the world and everything, and he himself works within natural sciences, natural laws.
Okay, but no. The point I'm trying to make is there were issues that couldn't be explained by their current knowledge, and that's why they needed evolution to fill that gap. And evolution is not necessarily an idea that he came up with, but it is definitely something.
Professing some very, very similar ideas before him.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. But what I'm saying is, it just makes sense if you think about it, because there is tons of animals that fit all these different niches, right? But sometimes they overlap in kind. Why? It doesn't make any sense. As long as you keep using kind, I'll keep assuming you're a creationist. And then if
well, what word do you want me to use for a type of
family,
creature that is obviously very different?
Animal family.
Okay.
Well, okay. And not only that, I mean, kind, the word kind.
That's debating. That's just debating words. That's not debating the actual content of what I'm saying.
No, it makes a difference, because when you say everything's just a dog, you're wrong. Because what is a dog is very difficult. Everything, if you're saying every animal in the canine family is a dog, then you're wrong.
It's a canine that most likely. I never said it was a dog.
You said the dog family.
Canine,
you mentioned that a couple times.
The canine family, canines, wolves, foxes, all of them.
Yep.
And nobody disputes the idea of them coming from some kind of base canine creature.
They all do. All evolutionists look at that and say that there was a common ancestor that they had.
Yeah, nobody disputes that. Not even the young Earth creationists dispute that idea.
Yeah, yes, they do.
Okay, maybe the more kooky ones. Maybe the more kooky ones do.
I met younger Earth.
I really doubt it.
Let me just tell you this story, and you'll get a kick out of it. I was having a fun little chat with a young Earth creationist, and we're discussing dogs. And he could not even admit that human beings altered the DNA of a wolf so much that we made all the different breeds of dogs, right? So I said, okay.
How the hell do you explain a Pomeranian?
Basically, yeah, exactly. If I go running into a beautiful desert out in Mexico, am I going to be attacked by a pack of wild chihuahuas? You know,
that would be glorious. Actually,
I mean,
speaking of that, my second day in South Texas, I read an article where a lady dropped her taco and got attacked by like her 25 chihuahuas. She had to be hospitalized. It was insane.
That's the most Mexican headline I've ever heard in my life.
Dude, we got crazy chihuahua ladies in the South, not crazy cat ladies.
Oh, yeah, I met quite a few people like that. They take their chihuahuas everywhere. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But okay, I mean, we're getting off topic a little bit, and you know, I'm enjoying it. I'll admit it. It's kind of fun. So here's the point I want to make. Okay, do you think it's possible for us to artificially create a separate family over long periods of time? Do you think it's a possibility?
No. We can only build across with the building blocks that we are already given with creatures.
You know,
Might be able to create some weird deformed monstrosity through genetics, but it'll never be a lasting, surviving, breeding creature.
What would you consider like a bird that's flightless to be like a freak kind of thing?
Well, obviously not. My favorite animal is the kakapo.
Oh, that's funny. I would take you for a blue-footed booby kind of guy.
Man, boobies. So I'm just partial to anything that says boobies, so I got to cut that out as my bias.
So what? The next question I want to ask you is you say we can only work with the blocks that we have, right? You know, we could fuck around with chicken's DNA and give them teeth. You know that, right? We could give them scales too. We don't even have to cross. We don't even need to mix in reptilians.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. So we
can.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So we could fuck around with the chicken's DNA. We could get rid of its feathers. We could give it scales, and we could also give a chicken teeth if we wanted to, just by playing around with the DNA.
We've already done that before in lab. I've seen.
So wouldn't you find it kind of odd that we're just able to do that, even though it doesn't really fit any of the criteria of the greater family of birds? Like, there's no birds with
greater
teeth.
Criteria of birds. There's plenty of birds throughout evolutionary history that have had teeth. Birds have gained and lost teeth multiple times. How about that? I've never seen them Well, birds, you can look at their feet. They're pretty scale-like sometimes.
Yes.
And so there's definitely the genetic code for scales within birds.
Yes. No, but what I'm saying is
be an expansion upon the genetic code.
Here's the difference, though, is evolution does not just make a new kind of greater family out of nowhere. For instance, like mammals came from kind of a reptilian ancestor a long time ago.
Those weird thingies that were along with the big bend back things that would lay eggs.
Yeah, and basically there was just a point where one of these things a long time ago started nurturing their young and making some kind of probably disgusting milk drink out of its proto nipples, which I'm sorry I meant
like the platypus. But the thing is, how do you go from an egg type creature to a uterus baby carrying creature who gives birth to live young?
Well, millions evolution. I don't know.
You can't just say evolution. I mean, you gotta give a mechanism for that change.
The mechanism exists in reptiles right now. You can find
the only
remnants.
Ones we've seen are only reptiles we've seen that give birth to live young, quote unquote. There are ones that hold the egg inside their body, but that's still using an egg, not a uterus.
So what you're saying is that it is possible for them to hold their young in their bodies, right?
No, they're holding an egg that's completely sealed.
They're holding the egg inside their body.
Of the body.
Okay, let's go back even further. Will
halfway
you
through the
acknowledge that
little
we
crack.
came from fish, right? That we came from fish?
There's something that happened just to say we mutation.
Yeah, we
But
we
there was
have a
obviously a
common
time when there was
ancestor. We have a common
There was-
ancestor that goes back to fish, and even
Well,
further.
there was
back.
obviously a time when the only creatures that we can find fossils for were definitely water creatures.
No. I'm saying we have common ancestors with fish, and then we have, and then go way back from there. You wouldn't even say that?
Well, it's just weird for me to say. Like,
Well, I don't see why it's an issue.
it just sounds weird.
Yeah, I don't see why
weird.
it's an issue. Well, I
Not
know
an
it
issue,
sounds
just
weird, but you say that you come from an ape
Weird.
with some people. You say we come from apes, and it sounds weird. You say that we're mammals, it sounds weird. It doesn't matter. We are those things. You can't really deny it. I mean, we fit all the criteria, so that's what we are.
And just a quick question.
Yeah, but you're.
Oh, my
I think you're in a
issue.
shitty area.
Damn it.
Can't hear you.
Now,
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys. This is just something that's always bothered me about the families and classifications. Would you say that it's kind of weird that we are still classified as great apes, even though we have more anatomical differences between great apes and humans than horses do deer?
No, we don't. DNA
There's
evidence, we're very close to those animals.
No,
Gorillas
we're
and
also
chimps.
96% related to rats. We're 45% related to corn.
Yeah. So I don't really, and just using that criteria, are you going to admit that we came from some kind of common ancestor?
Well, yeah, that's what I said before. There's obviously some form of macroevolution that happened. But, there's something like 130 different biological and anatomical differences between humans and chimpanzees.
Tell me, what difference would really set us apart as being that different from the other apes? Like the
way our muscles are formed on our body, the way our fat is placed within our body, brain structure, skeletal structure, pelvis. I can name every single thing.
No,
and it's still anatomically different.
No, you're talking anatomic. What are you talking about? There's deer with teeth, fangs. I mean, and then there's deer that are like 2 feet tall, and there's deer that are 10 feet tall. The difference between humans and gorillas are not that different at all. I mean, you could just look at them and see how close they are.
The very structure of muscles is absolutely different. The structure of fat
it's funny because when you look at somebody who gets real buff, real big,
even the hair follicles are different.
Well, the funny thing about that is they looked at a chimp's number of hairs on a chimp and a number of hairs on a human. They're almost exactly the same. Ours are just smaller.
But the way the hair follicles, even the way
isn't that a little interesting? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You realize those are minor issues, right?
Right.
There's dogs.
But there's so many of them supposedly minor issues.
The difference is enough to warrant them to be separate species. The difference is in dogs that we bred are much greater than us and the other great apes. Would you agree with that?
We're as different from chimpanzees as capuchins are from chimpanzees.
Well, okay, you mentioned hair. You mentioned muscle placement, and you mentioned the size and the bone structure and the brain structure. You can find all those.
Different.
Yeah, wait. You can find all those differences in dogs.
Yeah, but it's not as massive the differences as humans and apes.
It's way more. It's way more. You could breed dogs with bigger brains.
Right, but you can still breed dogs with wolves. Okay. You can't breed humans with chimpanzees.
Okay,
actually, I would love to see that. That's the point I'm trying to make. Got to get into the Nazi files.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Is the differences with us and the apes is enough to warrant them to be different species, but it's not enough to warrant that we are not considered apes. We have too many similarities. We have too much similarities for us to not be considered part of the great apes.
What's the similarities? Being bipedal?
Well, I would say, well, let me explain. First of all, they have similar facial structures. They have similar. They have similar. The way that their babies are born, the way that our babies are born, outside of a few differences. The way that their hands are.
Well, you can say that same thing about the differences between the way humans give birth and any other mammal, really.
No, you can't, because all this stuff is similar. Like the reproductive organs are similar. The mammary glands are extremely similar. You could probably, as fucked up as this is, and I'll admit it, is you could probably breastfeed a human gorilla from gorilla milk. You can
do the same. You can do the same with any creature and any other creature's breast milk.
No, you can't.
I fed cats goat milk.
Yeah, it's not good for the cat though. What I'm saying,
was.
I mean, well, no. You're misconstruing my point. Is they are similar enough that their development is almost identical to ours. The way that they grasp a hand as a young chimp or gorilla or orangutan, they do the same thing that human babies do. They have similar ways of looking at the world that we do. I don't know. Like, chimps use tools. Chimps hunt. Chimps fight wars. They didn't learn it from humans.
Yeah,
they did it on their own.
I saw a video where two guys came across chimps waging war against each other. That was hilarious and freaky.
No, I mean...
You seen that one?
You want to talk about the most fucked up animal on the planet. You talk about chimps. I mean...
yeah. No, chimps.
You
dolphins.
See that
and dolphins.
And dolphins, yeah. Too bad Dolphin's not here. Dolphin Radio.
Chimps attack the groin. That's what they do. Face and groin. That's their strategy.
Well, I mean,
real
it's
quick,
like
just a side note here. Did you guys see the very shitty Planet of the Apes remake where they had the apes doing like some shitty kung fu against the humans?
Oh, are you talking about the Tim Burton one?
The first remake they made in recent time, not the Tim Burton one, the one where they showed the apes taking over the world.
I don't know what that one was.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
CGI and I forget who
I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't dislike that movie very much, but it had some weird
I'm just
parts.
saying, just saying.
No,
The way they
but,
had the monkeys fighting humans was lame.
No, but I mean, the point I'm making is there's way too many similarities. It's the same kind of similarities that we notice of animals in the canine family and in the feline family. It's the same things. You could group them all together. You can't. I mean, there's just really no reason to really take us out of that category. You can't just make up a. It's like, well, we're in this category because we have philosophy. Like, I mean, it's all based upon physical characteristics and DNA. We know humans are different, definitely. I'm not disputing that, but there's no way I could say that we're not apes. We're definitely apes.
Wouldn't you say that it's more about DNA than physical characteristics and similarity? Because one of the dogs that's most is the dog you'd least expect, and I forget the name of the breed. It's the little dog. That's genetically closest to a wolf. I think so. One of those.
You're talking about a Spitz, right?
Lookalike.
It's a Spitz dog or something like that.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have been like a husky.
Well, it's
Huskies
like
ended up showing up much later on in the dog line, so that doesn't surprise me.
Well, Huskies are tricky because they're basically wolves. They're pretty wolves, pretty small wolves. That's basically what they are. But no, I mean, if you're looking at older breeds, it's like a Chow, Spitz,
yeah.
Akitas,
Yeah.
I think have you ever seen a Pharaoh hound? That's a really old breed of dog, very old. There's one in Mexico actually. I can't pronounce the name of it because it's like a bunch of fucking
I thought the
X's,
modern
but
Huskies were relatively recent.
I used to own one.
in their current form, yeah. But I mean, there's evidence that a Malamute type animal existed before, and so yeah, they say it's a really old breed too.
I used to own a dog that's very much like I think they're like Spitz, and they're like very fluffy, all white dogs. But the dog I had was a very similar type of breed, but it was all black, and it was actually called a Swedish Lab Hunt. And we didn't realize until
Swedish Lab
Hunt.
Okay.
You could call him.
Speckle's not here.
Yeah, well, the Swedish Lab Hunt, surprisingly, I think it was like one of the rarest breed of dogs in the world. And this dog.
How did you get it?
It was left at a truck station. At a
oh my
gas
god.
Station. Oh yeah. So we when the guy just sort of offered us the dog, and because we were moving at the time, and let me tell you, best dog I ever had. Temperament was great, beautiful dog, very obedient. Let me tell you, best dog in the world. But it's also, like I said, one of the rarest dogs you can possibly get. It's like if you wanted to get one, you have to get them from Sweden. That's why they call it the Swedish Lab Hunt, and it's like $1,200. It's like $1,200 just to get a puppy.
Holy
that's
shit!
Insane.
It is insane, but that's how much it costs, and you have to get approval to get the puppy, and you can't even.
Samaj,
yeah.
Look up this kind of dog. Look up this dog. It's called a Tibetan Mastiff. Look up that dog.
Oh, is that the one that's all wrinkly as can be?
That's I think you're thinking of like a Shar Pei, but this dog is a big poofy motherfucker, and it's
poofy motherfucker.
Poofy, like like a
like
Milo. No, but basically, it's considered to be the most expensive dog because it's super rare and it's really tough to get. And
let me tell you, looking at this dog, it's got like a huge lion's mane, kind of a look to him. And when you get the teeth out there, it is the most metalist looking dog I've ever seen. It's like I see him in like a rock concert or something, heavy metal shit.
Henry, put that dog up there, Henry.
My dog?
You know what the most useless dog in the world is?
What?
Chihuahua?
Well, no, Chihuahuas are at least good alarm dogs. What's their name? The pinchers.
Oh,
they get one scratch on it. No, the actual full-grown pinchers. Because,
Dobermans? Yeah.
Yeah, they get one scratch on them and they bleed to death. And that's the dog everybody puts in junkyards and stuff. What the hell?
Yeah, that sounds extremely anecdotal, but that sounds. I've seen Dobermans with scars, so I dispute your claim. But
if you're not there to help them out, they can bleed to death over a scratch.
Well, I mean you can too, but I mean it's a different kind of thing.
My blood clots. Theirs doesn't. Oh, I know that dog.
Let's see. Yeah, those show like a scale next to a person. Those are big dogs.
He's got one right there. Well, that dude's in the background.
Look at that sucker.
Freakish.
Look, those dogs sell for like 10, 20 grand US dollars.
Yeah, that's a puppy. It's also an adorable little puppy.
I love the indie guy there. I've never seen Cujo. I tried to read the book and it sucked.
Well, it's Stephen King, so
he's hit and miss, really.
He really is. Like I thought I was like, oh great, I can't wait to read The Shining. It's gonna be so much better than the movie. And I'm like, wow.
It wasn't.
So apparently the book is not always better than the movie.
Well, the next one I'm looking forward to or checking out at least would be The Dark Tower.
Oh yeah.
Hey, fun little caveat. Somebody trolled. Hey guys, somebody trolled the Shawshank Redemption Wikipedia entry, and I got into a dispute with a bunch of other truckers saying that the Shawshank Redemption was not real, and they went to the Wikipedia entry and they're like, "Look, it is real."
He really wanted through that shit.
Yeah, me and my dad were sitting there like, God damn it, it's not real. Remember that? Yeah, somebody even put up a fake mugshot of the guy. They supposedly found him in Mexico 20 years later. Like, no.
You know that people have been doing the same fucking thing with Adolf Hitler and Elvis Presley. It's hilarious. I love it.
Wait, what?
Like, well, the Hitler thing is that he's still alive in Argentina or he just died or some shit. And
that would be wonderful to get people to fall for that.
You guys ever watch Archer?
Oh,
yes. Fucking love that show.
And
I haven't been able to watch it in a while.
Jesus, man.
I'm a trucker. I pirate stuff.
Well,
I forget entire series.
Yeah. Well, Christ. You know?
Okay, I gotta say this. I just Googled it. The dog that's genetically closest to a wolf is a Shih Tzu.
A Shih Tzu? Seriously? No
Yeah.
way.
Put the Shih Tzu on the screen.
Okay, wait. I don't know how. Oh fuck. How do I do that?
No. Samaj's got it on there.
Well, no, this
Okay.
is
That's a Swedish.
That's a beautiful dog.
that used to be
You
my
had
dog.
that dog?
I had that dog. This is one of the rarest dogs in the world. Let me tell you.
I honestly thought that was a Labrador.
No, this dog is
Yeah.
best temperament of pretty much any dog I've ever come across. Super easy to train, super easy to teach new tricks. Very obedient, very loyal. And let me tell you, you can keep this dog around kids. This dog will not attack a single child.
I can say that about my mutt. Well, she's a Labrador, not really a mutt, but
yeah.
There's no papers.
But yeah, this dog, best dog in the world. I felt super bad because here's the thing: we always thought it was a crossbreed until one of the kids in the neighborhood brought up a little book on dogs and found this dog in our dog in his little library book, and found out that this is one of the rarest breeds in the world. We had to look it up and went, holy shit. And we felt so bad because we had got her fixed and all that stuff. We could have fucking bred her. We could have bred her because there was a guy who also had males. We could have bred this dog and all that shit. But we
made a
didn't.
shit ton of money.
We could have, but we didn't know.
So instead, you neutered her, fixed her, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you never got the cash cow off of a rare Swedish dog.
No, it was one of the greatest mistakes that we've ever made.
So you didn't. What you're saying is you didn't jerk that little dog off and get his precious seed, and so you can make all that money.
Our dog was a female, and there was a male in our province. How we made a connection, yeah. But yeah, no, I would gladly go out of my way to get this type of dog breed again.
Hey
well
guys,
worth it.
I'm gonna go inside a rest area. Oh shit. Area and rest areas are infamous for losing signal. Just a pre-warning.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway,
Well, I don't know.
The Shih Tzu?
Shih Tzu.
Crazy. Wow. That would be the last dog. I would think at least that one dog that looks like a Rastafarian. What's that dog called? You know, it gets all like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, the dreads.
And I used to think that was a small fucking dog, and I saw the size of those things.
No.
Those get 80, 90 pounds. Those are big dogs.
Dude, I got bitch slapped by my neighbor's Great Dane once. That fucking hurt.
Whew.
That's one for the bucket list.
Yeah.
Scooby Doo. You got bitch slapped by Scooby Doo.
Well, my brother was on Facebook asking what breed Scooby Doo was recently. And it's like, dude, it's a Great Dane.
Yeah. That and there was another Great Dane in a comic book strip. What was it called? Marmalade or something?
Yeah, the shitty ripoff of Scooby Doo.
Yeah, like a blatant copy.
Well, it was also from Hanna-Barbera, so it's not like they're
Marmaduke. It was Marmaduke. I remember that.
My favorite dog so far is Marley, honestly. He's on his own level.
See, I like Clifford, the big red dog.
What kind of breed is that, Henry? Okay. We're talking about actual dog breeds, and you're just bringing up this bullshit. You know, you're really killing this chat. That's all I'm saying.
Very scientific, Henry.
Thank you. Thank you. How did Clifford genetically come to be? You know?
I bet you know who we need to get in on that? The film theorist. The game theorist guy. That would be fucking awesome to watch his video on that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Did you see his one about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No.
Yeah, he made a case for how they could actually exist.
Hey, Henry. Did you post the link on there?
I tweeted it.
Like out to the open?
Yeah.
Great. Now the actual young Earths are going to show up, dude.
No, they're not. They don't know anything about us, man. We're so small potatoes. It's not
That's
even
it. I'm going to go find some.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're just proving more and more that you're actually creative.
I'm gonna go get Banana Guy on this. I'm gonna go get the Banana Priest on this feed.
Ray Comfort. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That guy. I'd love to talk to that guy.
You know what I loved about Ray Comfort? I thoroughly believe that he trolled the atheist community, and none of them knew it.
Yeah,
they were just laughing at him, saying, "Oh, he's." You know, they were just laughing, saying, "Oh, he's so stupid."
No. Let me get this straight. You're saying he trolled himself by looking like the biggest dumbass on the fucking planet by saying that the banana is perfectly made for a human being's hand.
That's exactly what we're saying.
I think he did that. I think he did that knowing full well the reaction he would get. And
really?
that would literally pop. Yes, I think he did. Nobody would say something that dumb.
Yes, he is that dumb.
No, nobody's that dumb.
Watch his debates, and you'll know how dumb that man is. He is not even there.
Yeah, I'm more interested in like the Lincoln's debates.
The who? Is
Lincoln.
that a banana?
Lincoln.
Did you just bring a banana?
I did. It made me want a banana. It fits so perfectly in my hand.
Is that the same banana that the amazing atheist shoved up his ass?
Oh my God! Don't.
Is that a real story or is that a joke?
Yeah, it's a real story. That actually happened.
Why did he do that?
He also put hot oil all over his cock and balls too.
Well, what the fuck's wrong with that guy?
Here's the thing. He's into the whole kinky kind of stuff, and he likes that kind of stuff to be done to him. And he brought in someone like a woman who would do that stuff, and she was taking pictures and posted it out on the internet. So it was some bitch who did it to him.
So really,
the question is, why did he want that happen in the first place?
He's a lot gayer than he pretends.
Should I find out?
I'm pretty sure, like, what people's sexual interests are their own personal thing. I'm sure if there is a reason, that's his thing. I try not to get into it.
It has to do with
all I can say is his response to that was almost perfect. You know, he came out with the ball gag, and he basically got out a banana and just started eating it while he was doing the. It's true. He has always been pretty open about him being kind of deviant on all that sexual kind of shit. And so it was funny, and he'll forever be known as the banana man with the micro penis, but you know, he handled that pretty fucking well.
Yeah, I just love like Mr. Dapperton whenever he said, "I sexually identify as a banana, but not any banana."
Oh, Christ.
And then he changed his character into a poop-covered banana. I was like, oh my god.
Mr. Dapperton? Oh my god. That's the new name for
Andy. That was the amazing advertiser.
Yeah.
It was him as a banana.
I'm
sorry, off subject.
No, it's okay. Let's wind this motherfucker down. I think we said everything we wanted to say. Samaj, you didn't say what you really wanted to say. So I
did not hear Samaj talk at all.
Samaj, you need to finish what you wanted to say. You told me you wanted to say something, so go ahead.
That all I needed to say is that the greatest form evolutionary creativity. I don't even know if I should even say that, but I guess I'll say it anyways. Would have to be ultimately the Tenga egg, and that would probably be because. Sorry.
Damn.
It
Every
evolved
time
from
I
a
invite
base
him over,
tadpole
he's
egg.
just a Tenga shill. He doesn't even get paid by those bastards. He's just an enthusiast.
I'm just an
God.
enthusiast.
I-
Look, I
I
might
gotta
have.
what
Yeah.
What was the base Tanga egg? Like some kind of like clear aquatic egg that.
Well,
What was
I mean,
the pre-Tenga egg?
Before,
It's like, well, this
right
doesn't even
before
fit.
it got the hard shell.
let me tell you, I'm pretty sure that the origin of it all pretty much came from. Well, the idea first stemmed from, let's say, hillbillies, because back then, because hillbillies had a hard time, dealing with the whole, condom issue, because some of them, were, maybe against the religion and whatever. But I don't know. I don't
Sure.
really know. All I know is that they started messing around with frogs. And then they decided,
Frogs.
hey, maybe those scientists can do to frogs what scientists also did to dogs, and how we got different dog breeds. Maybe we can work something out there. And then we bred
Oh
it.
my God! I shouldn't have brought you on.
Well,
Oh my God!
this is simply my theory as to how this happened. And so then, evolutionary wise, they bred frogs to get the proper type of egg, and then they just hard boiled it, and then they packaged it, and then they sent it off to Japan, where they give it some sort of chemical blend, and then here we have them.
I just think somebody that liked buggery looked at an egg and said that would fit up my ass.
That could be too.
No,
I wouldn't
sir,
rule it out.
no. Okay, I like the pre-Tenga model that Samaj is proposing, and sir, God bless
definitely more
you
colorful.
and your work.
It was definitely more colorful.
Well, you should be grateful.
All right.
You should be grateful I put this in the whole evolutionary context.
There you go.
I didn't have to
good for
do
you.
that.
No, you didn't, and you did it perfectly. Henry, you got
It was
anything
pretty
to
good.
say?
Evolution is a good thing.
Yeah. I got to be honest. When I said, "Hey, let's bring on this trucker and let's talk about evolution," I was like, we're just gonna start bringing out papers. We're gonna compare notes. We're gonna talk about models. But no, we ended up just fucking talking about Tenga eggs. And guess what? It was the
And
best
shih
chat
tzus.
ever. It was the best chat ever. I had a great time. And I hope everybody listening, which is probably nobody, had a good time listening. And let's close this sucker out.
Real quick, before we do that, how about in another, let's say a month, we all can do some research, and I'll come back with something.
Yeah, okay.
More than. All right, because this was fun.
Yeah, I had a good time. We'll do it again. All right.
And Samaj,
Skeptic Wars
will
are
bring
out.
the Tenga eggs.
I'll bring the evolutionary chart of the Tenga egg.
What makes you think this guy is not using the Tenga egg right now? What makes you think that?
I don't hear a bunch of grunting.
Well, I have to walk away from my mic for that. I mean, that's a big difference. So. I don't know if you were paying attention, but I did hit the mute button more than once.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. All right. Let's close her out. See you guys.
What about our shills?
Oh, okay. You can chill. You start first, Reckless.
Come to my channel. I'm weird for a skeptic, so you might find it interesting. Yeah, Reckless Trucker.
Nice. Samaj?
Oh, well, if you haven't been, properly informed by my lore on the Tenga egg, you should know that I'm not someone that you should be looking into. I'm not someone you should be attempting to spell the letters in SEMAJZ on a search engine. No, you shouldn't be doing that. But certainly if you do end up doing it, chances are you probably already are. You might as well already hit the like and subscribe button, because you're in for a good time.
Fucking Sid.
That's fucking right, man. All right, we're Skeptic Alert. Obviously, you know about this channel because you're watching us. We'll have all the information up, and Henry Sweets, the Banana Man, and everybody else, we all say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Ryder.
Rabble, 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 rabble.
Hit it, Henry.
Oh yeah.